something a little different or weird or whatever about your body, you should probably let people know before you sleep with them, because I have two vaginas, and one time I was with this guy, we were hooking up, and he was going from behind, and he went in the second one, and I was like, bro, wrong hole. And he kept going, didn't say nothing. I said, dude, wrong hole. And finally he stopped and he said, I'm not in my ass. So yeah, the conversation's probably going to be awkward, but it's worth having it. So, I found out that I have when I was 19 years old. And everyone's like, how did it take you that long to figure out? What the you know? I'll tell you, but it starts when I was 11 years old and I was on a vacation with my grandma, and there's us. We went to this place called the Black Bear Jamboree in Tennessee. It was pretty cool, Pigeon Forge stuff, tourist stuff, white people stuff. And I was feeling weird all day. I was having cramps, and I didn't really notice anything until we got done shopping, and we went back to the hotel room, and of course, blood. Freaked out, of course, as usual. And so I told my grandma, and she said, okay, and we got the necessary things. I tried tampons, and I asked her, I was like, why is it still in my underwear? I've already got one in. What's going on? And she said, oh, some people are just heavier flow. That's how life goes. And so I trusted her word, and I noticed that there was an exponential amount of in my underwear. And I asked her, I said, okay, is it possible to have two? Because I figured she's older than me, she's had one longer than me, she would know this. And she said, no, that's not really possible. Like for part 2. This is finding out I have two, part 2. So, in the last half, we learned that my grandma told me it wasn't possible, but then later, 8 years later, when I looked like that, stunning, it was 2009. I think everyone looked like that in 2009, but I went to the doctor. I got my first full physical in a long time, and I was joking around with the nurse. I said, hey, is it possible? It seems a little funny. I don't think so, but And the doctor checked, and sure enough, there were two. So I don't have an actual ultrasound of my personal uterus. My personal uterus, that sounds weird. As opposed to my public uterus. But this is basically what it looks like. It's not the same for everyone with this condition, but this is what mine looks like. The awesome part about this whole thing is that it comes in several variations, so it's basically like choose your fighter. Choose your fighter. Double-barreled, single-barreled, whatever you want, And I've already made all the jokes in the world about it, so nothing anyone else says can bother me, because, if you're not laughing, you're crying, Alright, this is the last entry in the Snatch saga, I promise. So, about 9 years ago now, so it's 2015, I was featured in an article on cracked.com, and that was about my first foray into, talking about this publicly with anybody besides my friends, because I honestly didn't think anybody would be interested. I figured, this is a common enough thing that nobody's gonna care that much about it, But then apparently it seemed after, in 2010, everybody and their grandma was out here telling us about their double barrels and all their extra situations and such, and it's like, oh, okay, I guess people are interested in that. Who knew?